If you see me looking over to the side, it's because I'm looking at my computer to let people in. So I'm keeping it on and doing all kinds of things. So don't mind me. But thank you guys so much for hopping on and just taking time out of your Monday night. I know that it's such a big deal when we just take this time to really, you know, be able to pour into you guys and all that good stuff. So again, thank you. So you can't hear me? Can you guys hear me? You can hear me? Okay. All right. Okay, good. All right. So I purposely titled this training, You Have to Fail to Succeed, because I've seen a lot of times, and it's kind of something that's really resonated in my brain, where regardless if it's us starting a business, us starting a new workout routine, us maybe going back to school, whatever the case may be. And I'm sure you see it on your social media all the time, where somebody is they're not doing the best. They don't feel like they're at their best level, because, you know, we get into this mindset of I've got to be the best at it. And if we're not the best at it, then we start playing these different things and thoughts in our head. You know, some things can be like, oh, I'm a failure. It's not going to work for me. Maybe I just need to try something new, try something different, or I should just quit altogether and maybe stick to what I'm good at, what I know best. And I've even said those things. There's been times where I start a new routine, whether it's a new workout training with my coach and she's giving me new workouts. I'm like, what are you trying to do to me? And if I'm not at my best, I'm like, what's the point? And I know there's so many in here right now, you know, whether you're freshly new into the business or you've been at this for a year or 2 years, however long you've been doing it, and you may not be the best at it right now, or the way you might have gone about it now joining Lavelle might not be the same as if you were in another network marketing company, you know, where there was cold messaging and just all those different things. And so the fact that you're not getting it right away, everyone's quick to throw in the towel saying, well, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I'm just not good. And you're ready to just put your hat up and be like, well, let me just call it quits, because I guess I just should stay to what I know. Because no one wants to accept defeat. Nobody wants to admit failure. But the reality of it is that those failures are going to help build you into what you're trying to get. Those failures are what's going to make you even stronger as you go along in the journey. There have been many times I've fallen down in this business where things have gone wrong, people have left, whatever the case may be. And it can be so easy for me to be like, well, let me just call it quits. Let me just stop and not even try anymore. There could have been times where somebody that came in after me that literally hit all their stuff right away, hit VIPs, hit 4K within those first 30 days, hit 12K the second month. There could be all those things happening, and it can be so easy for us to get in our heads and be like, well, I'm not as successful as they are, so maybe I'm not cut for this. And that's very easy to say. But what we may be missing is that breakthrough that Jess talks about, or that aha moment. Sometimes you have to allow some of those things to take place. You have to allow those failures to happen in order to mold you and to grow you into who you're supposed to be. Listen, we're all created differently. We are not all going to go about this business this exact same way. We're going to be authentic, yes, but how we may approach it, how we may come about it is going to be different, and that's okay. Don't try to copy and paste. This is why we say don't copy paste. Do not try to be exactly like the other person, because that's not what they're looking for. They're looking for you. You are the key to somebody else's breakthrough. You are the key to somebody saying yes and taking a chance on themselves. You are that other person's help, not what you feel like somebody needs to hear. That's one thing. I think we feel like we have to tell them what they want to hear. No, just be yourself. And even sharing those failures, even sharing those defeats, those moments of weakness. It's okay. You don't have to give them the whole sob story, but that can really help somebody else that might be going through it right now. Guys, I'll be real with you. When I shared, because I've shared transformation pics a bunch of times, but I never got to the point where I would share my stomach. I never wanted people looking at my stomach. And it got to the point where I was like, how am I going to really have somebody understand where I've been these past few months since being stuck at home if I don't get real with them? I had to get real. I had to get honest. And I had to be like, listen, guys, these 3 months were crap. They were crappy. I went down low. It's been a hard season. But here I am coming to you guys telling you this is where I'm at. And this is where I'm going to go. You know, I made the decision to go live about it and share about it, and then shared a picture of it. And that is something that somebody needed to see. They needed to hear that. They need to be like, okay, so it's not just me that goes through these struggles, goes through these moments. Okay, I'm not by myself. And that's the thing. You may be thinking you're by yourself in those struggles. So there are people that are sitting there that are like, thank you. Thank you for your honesty. You know, when Jess talked about today about peanut butter, you know, at the WIC office, that's somebody sitting there like, because that was me too. I was in that same situation before. So that was me sitting there like, yes, thank you. I needed to hear that. There is a silver lining. There is hope at the end. There is something at the end of this long road. And that is something that people just need to hear from you. They need to hear that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. They may have to dig a little bit more, but you got to show them. You got to show them that there is a way. There is a quote that I had saved on my phone. It's sometimes the best thing and the worst thing that ever happened to you were the same thing, but at very different times. You never can tell how things will turn out. No regrets, make good with what you've got and carry on. So that kind of stuck out to me because I thought about it like, you know, we can be going through transformations at different points in our life. And one moment it could feel like the worst situation in the world, but then later on, it's like the best blessing. Guys, when I first became a single mom, I felt like the world was the end. I felt like, well, I'm a failure. My marriage failed. My life failed. I let down people at my old church. I felt awful and I hid because I didn't want anyone to know that, hey, guess what? I wasn't perfect. And it scared me. But now I'm fast forwarding to 3-4 years later. And yes, I still have to hustle my butt off for my kids, but you know what? I've never felt happier. I'm at a church where they accept me for who I am, not for my status. So even though I went through struggles in getting the divorce and post-divorce, it's been a blessing. So guys, don't you dare quit on yourselves, even when it's hard. I get it. It can be hard. I understand that. But that is where the success comes in. The success comes when you push past that hurt, when you push past that moment of defeat. Think about people that run a race. You know, those track stars, they fall down, but they get right back up. Think about when your child is learning how to tie their shoes. How frustrating that is. They're going and they can't get it, but they keep trying. They keep trying till they get it. My son, it took him a long time to learn how to tie his shoes. He did not get it off the bat, but he was persistent and he was refusing to quit because he wanted that accomplishment and that smile on his face to say, look, Mom, look what I did. I tied my shoes. And that's all there is to it. Guys, you got to keep tying your shoes. You don't want to be tripping and falling and busting your mouth. Keep tying your shoes. I understand. Some of you have never done network marketing before, and it is scary as heck. I get it. But you know what? This is something that is going to change your life for the better, but you've got to believe it. We can't do it for you. Your leader can't do it for you. I can't do it for you. Jess and Shay can't do it for you. You have to believe that. You have to believe it. You have to believe it within yourself. You want to see success? Look in the mirror. You are your success story. Don't look at what you see everyone else. And unfortunately, we're so drawn to highlight reels. Sorry, guys. We are so drawn to the highlight reels where we see all like those pretty moments, that the perfect vacations. Look at me sitting out at the beach. Life is grand. We see everyone talking about how their kids are just so perfect. Like, my kids don't do anything wrong. Listen, I am very quick to be like, come get my kid. Jess has not shy about talking about her third child. We are not shy about talking about our kids, about like those highs and the lows. Don't be fooled by the highlight reels, because sometimes those people are just putting it on to impress people. And those are the people you don't want to be looking at. You want to look at the ones that are like literally sitting in their laundry room crying because they're like, guys, I'm in a rut. Those are the people you want to focus on. Don't be so quick to look at anyone else in network marketing, even people that are in Lavelle. Don't be so quick to be fixated on their highlight reels, because a lot of them are just showing you highlight reels. They're not getting raw and dirty. They're not giving you the nitty gritty. They're not giving you the real them. So don't be fooled by that. Don't even be fooled by me. Don't think that like what I'm doing is like Bible, but understand, you want to show your truths. One thing that kind of really, so for me right now, because I'm training to get ready for this competition this weekend. And last year when I competed, I refused to do squats. People are like, what? I refused to do squatting because for me, that was a failure. And I didn't want to go into a competition not being the best at it. And, you know, my old coach was like, that's silly. I was like, nope, that's just me. It's a pride thing. I can't. But then I said, if I want to be able to see something happen or see real change take place, then I have to step out of the comfort and actually do it. So when I linked up with my new coach, I told her, I was like, listen, me and squats are not besties, but we're going to try. And that's all I can do. So you know what? Come Saturday, I'm not going to have the best looking squat. And I don't care. But I'm going out there and I'm doing it. I'm stepping out of the comfort and doing what I can do as best as I can. Y'all might think it's impressive, but I'm just going to be like, whatever. And that's the honest truth. But you've got to be willing to step out and trust it. And don't be afraid to fall down. Don't be afraid to fall down, because that's where the magic happens. You fall down and you get back up, you dust yourself off, take notes like, okay, this is where I need to work on to get this a little bit better. And you keep going. Think about when you're in school. If you don't do so well on an assignment, normally the teacher gives you notes, tells you what you can fix. And if you were that studious student that wanted to do well, you fixed it. Now, if you were the one that was like, whatever, a C is a C, then you just left it alone. But if you want change, you've got to look at those notes, look at the red ink, fix it, and go at it with gusto. And then that can even mean being something as simple as going live. Some of you guys clinch. Some of you clinch when we say, hey guys, the challenge for today is to go live. And some of you are like, no, I don't want to go live. Like, you clench your butt cheeks. That's how scared y'all get. Y'all are like, yeah, no, I don't, that's not me. I don't like to do lives. Listen, I'm going to tell you 9 times out of 10, your lives are never going to look cute. I went live the other day to make my shake in the blender because I was trying to be cute. Like, hey, I'm going to try something new. My blender broke on me and literally almond milk spilled all over the counter. And I had to laugh at it. I was like, oh, it's not the cutest live, but we're going to use it. But you have to be okay with, looking a little silly. You do not have to get glammed up. Sometimes you may just come out with a messy bun, dirty t-shirt, and just be like, hey guys, we're doing 3 steps this morning, let's go. And that's all right. People need to see that. They don't need to see, full face of makeup, heels on, cute skirt, whatever the case may be. They just want to see you. And you know what? They believe the excitement and what you're selling or what you're talking about when they hear you, when they see you, all of it. And you just got to be okay with that. If you mess up on words, it's fine. No one's here for the perfect life. Even, I'm pretty sure Jess will say all day long, her lives are not pretty either. Because she comes up with words that she's like, wait, what did I say? Did that even make sense? And that's all right. But when people see you being you, they just fall in love with you. They know when it's genuine, and then they know when it's fake. So don't do that. This is kind of like a short and sweet training, but one of the last things that I wanted to say is that when we look at success, like I said, we look at the highlight reels. Here's the thing. So, sorry, Jess, I'm going to put you out here, but I have to. We all celebrated Jess when she won Ultimate Thriver. We all hooped, hollered, we all screamed. Some of us probably cried. It was a great moment that we all got to see. But see, here's the thing. We all think that was her success story when she hit that. For me, when I look at it, her success story started years ago when she quit corporate office. And she said, no, I'm not letting the man define my hours, because my boys deserve to have their mom every single day. That was her success. It could have been, I mean, we can all sit here and think that, you know, her winning the Thriver was the success story. I personally say, and I've known Jess a long time, but for me, when I look at it, her success is when she said, I refuse to let someone tell me when I'm allowed to be with my children. I refuse to let someone tell me when I'm allowed to be with my husband. That was when her success started. We just happened to see, you know, the roller coaster ride. But if she didn't say yes back then to change, think of what would have missed out to now. Had she not made the change to join Lavelle, Shay wouldn't have been around. And look at all these ladies. If you swipe around on this Zoom right now, there's so many of us that linked up with either Jess or Shay, or you linked up with somebody else on here, but we are somehow connected. So at the end of the day, the success is just saying yes years ago. So you guys right here on this Zoom are part of her success story, because she made a change, which gave all of us, we may not have known it then, gave all of us the hope, because we all knew we wanted change. So just know that you may be looking, and if it takes you another year, 2 years, 3 years, I don't care. But I want you to think about this. Look in the future. There could be somebody on your team or somebody that's a little bit lower from your team that's going to say the same thing about you if you keep going and don't allow your failures to define who you are. That is what you will be able to see. You will be able to see somebody else shout you out and say, if it wasn't for them, X, Y, and Z years ago, for saying that they no longer wanted anyone to tell them what freedom meant. That's what you want to look at. Don't you ever dare let anyone tell you that your failures are losses. You are not defined by those failures. If anything, they're going to build you into the woman that you are designed to be. So what are you willing to do today? Are you willing to continue on your story? Are you ready to write your chapter, your book? Or are you going to let somebody else hold your pen because you're scared? We all have to start somewhere. But we can make such change. So that's all I got for tonight. I love you all, and I hope that you guys have a great Monday night. It's go time, guys. I don't care if the month's almost over. We run every single day like it's the first day. Okay? I love you guys. Have a beautiful night, and I will be sharing this in the chat, the recording, and good night.